Hi, I'm Alain Picard. I just want to spend a little time talking to you about blending. I bet you have heard some things about blending, so we just want to set the record straight. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about why you would blend in a drawing. We're going to talk about what you might use to blend. We're going to talk about how you would do that. How would you actually accomplish those blending techniques? And then we'll look at where you would use those blendings as it relates to a specific drawing of mine. We'll try some of that out. And then I think we're really going to bring some clarity to this whole issue of blending. Okay, so why would I blend? Well, blending is one of the tools that you would use as a visual artist amongst many tools to communicate visually. But blending is really about creating that tonal, atmospheric, very soft, quiet value changes, gradations, where you want to create shadowy, airy aspects to your drawing. When you want to create lots of texture, lots of detail, lots of contrast, that's when you wouldn't blend, okay? So there are times you wouldn't want to blend. And so what would you use to blend? Well, if you look at the table, I've got lots of things here, from a chamois or even a simple paper towel to blending stumps in a variety of sizes. We've got tortillons, which are an even nice, refined tool for blending. And then we've got some brushes at variety of sizes, from stump-like brushes to the hake brush to create some stroke effects. So how would we do it? We've got these blending tools before us. Well, if we take a little charcoal here and just throw it down, you get this nice, dark, rich, velvety charcoal. But now I want to create some tone. Certainly I could use my fingers, but a chamois would give me a lovely kind of soft, airy, hazy, texture-free environment. Look at that. Just using the chamois, very quickly we get atmosphere, we get a sense of air. Now if I wanted to use the blending stump, I can control that movement, even bring some sense of movement, energy to my blending by moving in a direction using the blending stump. Same principle with the tortillon. I would just kind of wiggle that, and look how I can create a visual effect just by scrubbing that around. Now if I want to create more of a directional stroke, so let's try this hake. Now if I move that in this direction, look how I get almost a stroke-like effect with energy moving across this area just by using a deliberate stroke pattern with the brush. Very effective and creates a unique visual appeal. So as I would put this down, now I wouldn't want this to be my only act or the only thing that I do in my drawing. So I come on top of that with a more linear stroke, and I get a lovely combination of tonal and textural. I get a lovely combination of tonal and linear. So these two effects working together are very effective. Okay, so lots of different ways that I can achieve blending. And you saw the chamois. You can even just rub in with the paper towel for a similar, just quieting effect. Very simple, very low-cost blending tool. Let's look for a moment at this drawing. This is a peony in a mason jar. And you're going to see in this drawing many, many different techniques that we've used. And it's on a gray toned paper, so the actual surface is toned. Okay, and we've got lots of different things happening here. And if you look into some of these areas of the background, you'll notice that charcoal was used and then softened and blended to become diffuse and to become quiet, especially over here on this darker, shadowy side. You see this very soft tonal area. That is done with the quiet blending, much like we did on the paper. You see those blended effects move right into the petals of the peony, creating a soft edge, an open edge where the air can move through that area. Very, very effective way of opening that area. And then we come back with our textural or our linear strokes to bring detail, to bring sharp edge back into the drawing. So those two effects, the very soft tonal and then the linear and textural strokes, are very, very effective. And you can see with the gray toned paper, we use the white in either the white charcoal pencil or the white pastel to get an even higher, lighter note to pull up the highlights. I love over here in the leaves where we're blending, and even you can see a kind of, if you look right through here, you can see that stroke moved with a brush right through there, much like the brush stroke blended effect we used right here. So we get that nice movement through the leaf so it doesn't become too hard-edged and compete for attention with our star peony. So we see lots of things happening here, and if you look at this, this is the same toned paper that we used for this drawing, and if we simply wanted to develop our concept very quickly and take this charcoal and lay it down, and we want to create that nice tonal, kind of quiet, darker atmospheric effect. There it is, right? We can push that value darker. We can even use a compressed charcoal to create really strong linear effects, much like in the leaf. And notice the layering. We feel like we're getting dimension and layering going on as we do that. But even on top of the same charcoal we use the same one again to build up that value. And then as we want to pull up lights, we come in with our white charcoal right over the blended area. We can even use that white pastel to pop up a lighter highlight. And you see that the blending is bringing different kinds of dimension to the drawing. If we just scrub in, we can quiet things down. Use that nice big charcoal and scrub in. I love these tortillons. They're wonderful little tools for blending because not only do they soften, but they also kind of give you a sketchy look as you do it. Well, why don't you try out some blending tools and see what you can create with some soft atmospheric effects, some gradation, some soft edges, in addition with other mark-making effects to create dynamism and dimension and interest in your work. Give it a shot, see how it works. Enjoy.